Good evening, everyone. My name is Sherry Burkilo Diaz. At my side is Michelle Pratt. We are welcoming you to the Nufloors Penticton semi-final game here of the quarterfinal game of the Nufloors Penticton Curling Classic, our 5th annual event here. Tonight's feature game on Sheet C here at the Penticton Curling Club is featuring current world champion Nicholas Edin versus two-time junior world champion Tyler Tardi here from local BC team. Welcome to our live stream event of this quarterfinal game. Michelle, I'm so pleased to have you with us this evening. Thank you for being here, and welcome. This is your first time at this in this chair, so welcome.
This is. Yeah,
welcome.
Very first time. So thanks, Sherry. I love being here. I'm a huge curling fan, and this is just such a thrill to watch.
Game is well underway here. We have we've missed the first few shots here just because these guys were so anxious to get started. They started before our live streaming event started. So we are seeing Rasmus Rana coming out of the hack, and so we do know that Team Edin is playing the Blue Rocks and that they do have to hammer this in. So
that's right, Sherry. They do, and looks like so far it's quite a nice clean end. They've just got a few rocks in play, and of course, like you said, we've got Team Edin playing Team Tardi. Team Edin ended up number 1 in the pool play, so they made their way right to this spot. Tyler made it here by beating Team Matsumura just a little while ago. It was a really, really great game.
Team Matsumura, as I've said all through this event, is going to be one of those teams that we're going to want to watch in the future. They are so exciting to watch, and I saw many ends that 4-point ends that happened with them. So a ton of fun to watch, and they really have embraced this game. So tonight we do have the skips and the thirds. The skips and the thirds are both mic'd, so we can hear the conversations that are happening between the skip and thirds on each of the teams here. And would you like to introduce us to the teams?
I would love to. Thanks, Sherry. Of course, Team Nicholas Edin is skipped by Nicholas Edin. He's got his ever faithful and ever wonderful shot maker Oscar Eriksson at third. At second, Rasmus Rana, and their skip or their lead, Christopher Sundgren. And right now we've got Oscar Eriksson delivering his shot. Looks like they're going to be just drawing another one into the house. The first end's always really interesting for the teams, just to get a feel for the ice. You know, it's been sitting just for a little bit since the last draw. Our ice crew's done an amazing job keeping everything nice and clean and crisp for the boys out there. But first end, you'll see a lot of just getting a feel for what's happening out there. Of course, we've got the Tyler Tardi team throwing the red rocks. And right now we've got Sterling Middleton.
Well, as we mentioned already, third player stones here in this first end of play here. And tonight we are featuring 4 games on our 6 sheets of ice here at the Penticton Curling Club. So all of these teams, of course, have risen to the top of their pools. They have accumulated the points that are needed in order to be in this top tier. We've already eliminated 4 of the teams that came into the top 12 and of the teams, and so we're just up for some exciting curling all the way around the board here, and so I'll be keeping you informed of some of the other sheets that are happening at the same time. So on sheet B we have Robillard versus McEwen. Of course, our feature game is Tardi versus Edin. Then we've got on sheet D it's Flash versus Buick, and on sheet E we've got Dunstone versus Howard. So all of these are like top-notch curlers, and I'm so excited to be here with everybody tonight and keeping us informed of those games as we go on.
Absolutely, Sherry. Top-notch curlers, and they are right in front of us. It's just so exciting for our club to be able to host this event.
Absolutely.
And we've got Oscar Eriksson delivering his second stone here.
Looks like he's trying to draw right into the house.
Looks like they've done a very nice job of handling that stone and getting it right to the 4 foot. Now let's just chat about Team Tardi. Let's introduce you to them. We've got, of course, our skip Tyler Tardi, and we've got his third, Sterling Middleton. Second is Jason Ginter, and lead is Jordan Tardi.
That's right, a couple of brothers on this team, and not the only sets of brothers that we have even out on the sheets tonight. I see on sheet D we've got the Horgan brothers on with Team Buick.
Fun. You find that more often than not. There's so many families curling together. It's wonderful.
It is
Sisters,
one of those
brothers.
Yes, it is one of those sports. We're seeing some really incredible sweeping here this week and this weekend, and we've seen some incredible sweeps that are really manipulating the end shot, and it is so exciting to see these athletes work and to understand how important that sweep is.
Well, and you said it, Sherry. That's what these players are, athletes. They really are. They are fine-tuned. They work so hard at this sport. And, you know, looking at the game, you might think, oh, it's just about throwing rocks down the ice, but it's so much more than that. It really is. It's an absolute team effort to make every single shot from where you put the broom. You know, you need to decide exactly where it needs to be, the amount of weight you need to throw, and then, of course, you've got those incredible sweepers out there that are really, really helping those shots be made.
That's right. It's definitely a team effort out there, and as a team, we have not seen a lot of misses from Team Edin. They have been at the top of their game, and it shows why they are currently the world champions. It is so exciting to have them here, and you know, we had our mixer at the beginning of the event, hosted by Slackwater Brewing. Thank you so much to your support to Slackwater for their support of this event. And you know, I had an opportunity to chat with Nicholas, who told me that they were just so pleased with the timing of this event, that it was just such great timing to not be involved with the or overlapping with the European Championships, which happens sometime with the dates that we've chosen. So while they have been here in the past and have been runners-up in 2017 of this event, losing to Kevin Cooey, who isn't in our top 12 this week, they are really excited to be here. So it's such a pleasure to have them.
And it's so nice to have them. I mean, I remember back in 2013, that was the first I'd seen of Nicholas Edin when he was here for our World Financial Cup, Continental Cup that Penticton hosted.
That's right. So they've been to Penticton. You know, they should be making themselves quite at home here in Penticton at this point. They've been here many times.
That's right.
What a great team of guys they are. So tonight's feature game is brought to you by Outdoor Living Today, and that's a local company, Greyback Construction and Canadian Tire. We'll be mentioning some other sponsors throughout this event, but tonight we really want to say thank you to Nufloors Penticton, to Brad and Annette Wood, and to these three featured sponsors: Outdoor Living Today, Greyback Construction, and Canadian Tire.
Absolutely. We can't do these events without all of these sponsors, and we do so appreciate their support. And that was Tyler Tardi throwing his first rock. And he made a nice little hit and roll there.
As we mentioned, Team Edin does have the hammer, so we are looking at the last rock of the end here as Nicholas comes down to shoot his last blue rock.
Oh, you're right about that.
Yeah, it happened really fast.
It did.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah. So here we are already wrapping up the first end of play.
Once it gets tighter, it'll go.
First end, I find, always gets the shake the jiggles out. And
absolutely. I was just thinking that. I was thinking the first end was pretty cautious, which is always, it's nice to see. They're just getting a feel for it. You know, we're getting down to the crunch here. We're in the quarterfinals, and you know, you certainly want to avoid any types of mistakes. Let's get a feel for the ice.
Nicholas Edin, of course, facing three red rocks in the house at this point, so
yes.
he does need to draw in order to take control of this end. But you know, with the shot making that we've seen this week, I don't anticipate that being any type of problem for him to hit T-line. They are working, though, to make that go, and we do see the sweepers.
That was a wonderful team effort, that shot. Beautiful,
and T-line it is.
Effort.
There it is. So at the end of the first end, we do have Team Edin scoring a single point. Again, forced to that single point in the first end. We typically, if we were strategizing and in an ideal situation, try and take those 2 points or more in that first end, but being forced to a single. So good job for Team Tardi to be a strong opponent there, and very great end of play so far.
They did what they needed to do there, absolutely.
Because our game started a moment or two early, we are the first end of play, but I will do my best to keep you updated about the other sheets of play, and currently my only update would be on sheet B, the Robillard McEwen game, which was a blank end in the first. So again, we'll see Nicholas Edin holding on to the giving up the hammer this end, and so Team Tardi with the hammer this end, and we see the Nicholas Edin team putting up a centerline guard for the first rock of play. This is our last event of the day today, so we will be back for live streaming at 8:30 in the morning. Can't tell you who will be playing based on who wins tonight. We'll be moving into those semifinals with finals at noon tomorrow. So we do hope you can join us for that, and please, as I've mentioned in previous broadcasts, please feel free to visit pentictoncurlingclub.ca. There's opportunities for you to check out how to find the other live streaming events, because we do have live streaming through curling.com, and also an opportunity to make a donation to the Penticton Curling Club. I know we definitely are reduced capacity in the club, and so there is an opportunity for you if you love the sport of curling and you would like to see this particular event continue on. We would appreciate your support. If you can, feel free to give, and go to the pentictoncurlingclub.ca and check it out, and see if you'd like to maybe donate a few dollars in lieu of not being able to be here in person. Go ahead and make that, and we'd be so grateful.
That's a great idea. Yeah, thanks for mentioning that, Sherry. And we had Jordan Tardi throwing his first stone. Nice come around. He came around Nicholas, the Edin team's center guard. And then, of course, we had Christopher Sundgren following him in. The ice seems to be running beautifully. It's curling nicely for these players. They're able to handle it really well with the sweep.
Line's good.
Our ice crew is out here between the games and just making sure that these sheets of ice are well prepared. And what a group of professionals we have working on this ice. We're really lucky to have, our ice manager, our ice technician, and our club manager, Chris Jones, alongside Kathy Jones, Matt Tolley. Thank you so much for all your efforts in bringing this event to Penticton for the 5th annual Nufloors Penticton Curling Classic.
Well, these players seem to definitely be dialed in right now. They've definitely got their weights down, and we were just seeing a nice little string of rocks there, all tucked in behind the center guard. We've got Rasmus Rana with his first stone.
Gå runt. Linjen är bra för det. Bara fart. Bara fart.
Again, we're watching Rasmus rock come right in and hit the top of the button, right on the pin there. So, great shot.
That was a lovely shot. I think it's peeking out just a little bit, and it looks like Tyler is going to make a play on it.
Well, I love that about this Tardi rink. They are not afraid to take chances and risks and make a fun, exciting game to watch. So they've been a great team all this event, and absolutely deserve to be here. They are a strong team from British Columbia.
They certainly are. They are really getting their name out there, coming back with lots of accolades. Nice team, too. Really lovely men.
Clean. Yep. Hard. Shooter, big roll.
Looks like it's moving quite nicely for them. They were able to handle it with the sweep. Great
sweep. Sterling Middleton on that.
Lovely shot by Jason Ginter.
Just makes it past the center line rock.
I wasn't sure if it might even kiss that rock, but certainly didn't affect it. It came out beautifully for them. Now, not being all that brushed up on my Swedish, based on body language, I think they're making a play on that center guard now.
Absolutely. We're seeing some weight come out with this rock, and so we'll watch the drag effect as this outturn.
There we go.
And gets rid of.
Rasmus Rana is able to open things up a little bit.
Tyler's taking a look. From this angle, it's a touch difficult to see which is shot rock, but Tyler indicated that he believes that it is the blue that is when second and third shot there, so he thinks it's outscoring the red
Even
rock,
nose
which is
isn't
sitting on
bad.
the edge of the 12-foot.
What's he like here?
Yeah, Tyler feels that he's going to need to make a play on that top 12 Edin stone right now.
Whoa.
We've got
Clean.
Jason Ginter's second stone
Whoa.
coming down the ice.
Sterling. Hard, Sterling. Hard. Yep. Whoa, 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 whoa. Good spot. Good shot.
That's a nice,
Den som har slå den nu
quiet
då.
hit. Those are
Ja,
so
kanske.
lovely for the team because it really enables the sweepers to get more involved in the
Nästan
shot,
rulla in ända hit om
handle
det
it a little
går.
bit better,
Åtta.
hold it if they have to with the sweep.
Absolutely, and we are seeing the sweepers make such an effective change or difference to each throw, so it is really awesome to watch them do that on our ice. So we should be able to do this on ladies' night.
Shouldn't we though? Isn't that's the fun thing, Sherry, isn't it? When we're watching events like this and then we try and come out here and make the shots that these professionals are making.
Yeah, it doesn't
Can't
work
quite
out that way.
understand why it doesn't work for us,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. There we go. Takes that rock out.
Very nice.
Does lose the shooter at the same time, so didn't get that inside roll. Didn't see if that's what they were hoping for, but they are sitting one red rock in the 4-foot, so that is a Tardi rock at this point, and sitting in there. And again, Tardi has the hammer this end.
If you're a little short, that's fine.
And it does look like it's maybe partially buried.
Stay
I can't
sync.
quite
You
tell
got
from
all
this,
that for the run, right?
from this angle, but it does look like it's partially buried, and it looks like Tyler's thinking about putting another guard up there to give it a little more protection.
That's right. I'm not sure if he'd be happy with the single at this point, but at least plugging up that right-hand side of the sheet leaves the left-hand side of the sheet open for a draw on the last rock if possible. So putting up a guard now.
And it leaves him another stone to play with up front if he needs to make a run back or a tap back or anything. It's always nice to have those stones up there.
Line's good.
Lite tics efter. Inte stöter
So we're seeing a lot of movement on these rocks. Once it hits the breaking point, it
Close. Yep.
seems to really be moving in.
Hard, guys.
And
Yeah,
we'll
they're
see
getting a
that
lot
here.
of finish
Whoa,
at the end.
Jordan,
aren't
Jordan,
they?
Jordan, Jordan, Jordan. Hard, Jordan. Hard, Jordan. Go, 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 go.
Great. So playing with the lines a little bit.
Yeah, I think that might have overcurled on them a little bit. It's not quite where they had anticipated.
Helt okej att rulla ut.
But
Det ser inte ut
like you
som de
said,
där
Sherry, we're
träffar
getting a lot
blå.
of curl.
Ja, det ser inte ut som de där träffar blå mer än om man träffar väldigt tunt där. Så helt okej att rulla för långt. Hur mycket plats är emellan dem? Om jag råkar rulla av, hur lätt är det att slå ner det här?
Ja, det går inte att slå på det där. Men
Nej, jag tänker om han gör det, om jag råkar rulla av. Jag har ju inte mycket marginal inåt. Så.
han kan väl sticka den, men då måste det nästan vara han kommer ju rulla av alla rackar.
Så är det bara sticka den halvgömd där då. Är det här en tanke?
Probably threw that pretty hard.
Eller är det för
Well,
mycket
based on the
gambling?
body language and the broom movements, looks like they've got a couple of options. Obviously, Nicholas Edin could draw
Vart
around.
försvinner blå då?
He could possibly play a light tap,
Alltså om den här ligger kvar, den här går
but
ner och slår ut
it
deras.
seems
som
like
de
they might be
slår.
looking
Jag vet
at
inte
the
om de
come
knackar.
around.
Christopher and Rasmus have come down to
nej.
also provide some
Kan vi
input.
sätta den här? Men jag har ju bara det här är 70% av den.
And, you know, it's not a bad time for a team chat. There are 3 red rocks in the house versus that one lonely blue. So that would definitely be something they want to take a careful look at, seeing how Tyler Tardi has the hammer.
Bara klira den i så fall.
Jag gillar att försöka vara kvar, men jag tycker ett alternativ att klira den också. Om det känns svårt att bara göra den liksom.
So it looks
Jag vet
like
inte varför han är så rädd för dragningen, men skitsamma.
Oscar will be topping that red rock that's in the 4-foot. They have
Blåa på ett sätt så blir det rätt bra.
Jag är på
I think
clearingen!
the key here would definitely be to holding your shooter. You want to keep your shooter in play here. There's another blue rock in the house.
Based on the ice that I see the skip is giving, I'm going to suggest that we're going to see a little bit of movement on this rock, that we'll see some speed coming out. And I commentated on the game this morning with Nicholas Edin. This team and Oscar Peterson is so great at delivering a very deliberate takeout, so strong and so accurate. It's nothing but excitement to watch these players play. And that changes the end completely, putting the blue rock in the 8-foot and shot position. So, good job.
Very nice shot by Oscar Eriksson.
So Tyler's taking a look here, and as Oscar Eriksson joins Nicholas Edin behind the house to talk about that.
What? No.
Again, with the skips and thirds being mic'd.
Leave it though, it's soft.
Makes
Just enough to kind of move it.
Makes for some interesting
Like here.
conversations to overhear.
That's right.
I'd love to keep him around. Here's Max. Huh? Quarter.
Sounds like they're definitely looking at playing that top red one. Based on the ice, it looks like they're playing maybe just a board weight hit.
I
That
agree.
might advance both the reds and back onto the blue. Getting that one out of play would be the plan.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yep. Whoa. Whoa.
Sterling Middleton here with the second of his rocks.
We
need some curl.
Jordan.
Need some curl.
Shooter.
And there you go. You get that little bit of movement.
And I think that was definitely what Tyler was hoping for. Keeping all of his rocks in play. He's got 3 rocks in play. And he was able to get some separation and move that 4-foot Edin stone back a little bit. Maybe get a little access to it.
Ja. Då lär han väl frysa i så fall, men han har ju ingenting att skicka in på den där. Han lär väl dra här. Typ. Kanske han drar det här också. Jag skulle tro att han drar här ibland.
I have never wanted to learn Swedish as much as I do right now.
Någon mening att dra någon annanstans
Right?
själv, men
Yes.
These guys have been so great at their communication. It is, obviously they're speaking in their home language, but the team effort, the team support, the team communication, I believe is one that we can all strive for as curlers. They really think things through, and I think that's really important.
It is, Sherry. The team communication is so important. To pass that information on, pass it all the way up to your skip, let them know what's going on, and talk about it as a team, and really everyone be on the same page, basically, so that you can make the shot as effectively as possible. Looks like he's got a nice board weight here. He's going to do something similar, juggle some stones around.
And ends up behind cover, right along center line. Nicholas
Beautifully
Edin,
buried.
once again, such a stellar player. So great. And one of the things that I have learned watching them, particularly this year, I did not realize that Nicholas was a whistler. To call his team off the sweep, I did not know where that was coming from. And some of our comments on the YouTube live chat, thank you so much for letting me know that's Nicholas calling the sweepers off. And what a great communication technique that none of us use. So if the world champ does it, maybe we should all do it.
And here we go with Tyler's.
Seeing some heat here. Get.
Oh,
What do you think?
I think they're just trying to determine whether that blue rock had gone out of play before it touched the red rock.
So if we watch the replay here and we see that the red rock got touched before the blue rock hit the wall. So
I believe so. It's just interesting because it looks like there was a broom in play there as well. But no, it looks like they've got it all under control.
Där när du slog här i förra matchen, då gick den ju spikrakt. Jag tyckte också det var fint. Jag vill inte gå för lite fart.
So Tyler's shot definitely opened up the end a little bit there.
Team Edin wanted us to make sure that we said thank you to their sponsors tonight.
Excellent.
So if you were ever in Sweden, please visit Muri's restaurant in Sweden, Uniqlo clothing company.
I think I need to rethrow it.
Naeho is an everything store, and Bauhaus as well. They are sponsored by Dynasty Curling, and that is, you'll see that amongst many of our curling teams here tonight. Dynasty is a great supporter of curling, and on that note, I will also let you know that Team McEwen leads Team Robillard 2-0 in the third end, and we'll watch Nicholas Edin, his last rock of this end, come down, take the red rock out, slide into the 4-foot area right at the tee line, creating a chance for a double. Unless what we can see what Tyler Tardi can do here tonight.
Yeah, looks like he's taking a look at the double.
It looks pretty nice.
I think ideally he would like to try and blank the end, which is entirely possible. I think we're going to be seeing a little bit of weight.
I think so too. A blank would be great here. I know Tyler would like to hold on to the hammer and take a multiple, perhaps next end. And at this point, taking a single might be a force, but he's attempting the double here at the end of the last rock of the second end. We've got some heat on this, and seeing this rock come down pretty fast.
Whoa!
2 and out.
the blank. There
We've
you
got
go.
a blank. Great job, Team Tardi, on
Well
this
done.
second end of play, keeping the score at 1-0 for Team Edin. But it does keep Tardi with the hammer, and that's exactly what they'd like to see here at this end.
Yes, they're very happy, I think, with the result of that. And we're just going to head into the third end.
Team Tardi made up of a great group of support throughout their careers so far, and I'd just like to take a moment and acknowledge some of their personal sponsors. So MVP Oil Field Services, EPSCAN Industries, Rogers Trucking, KLC Creative, SNS Turbine Services Limited, Nufloors Penticton, a great supporter of curling in our community and province, Big League Utilities, Hardline Curling, Dynasty Curling, and Fort St. John Links Golf Course. Team Tardi would like to thank all of their sponsors, and we really hope that we're making all of their sponsors proud. It's a great game so far.
It really does take a village, doesn't it?
Doesn't
but
it?
with all the traveling that these teams do, boy, those sponsors are just key to being able to attend all these events.
Isn't that
So,
true?
Yes,
Mhm.
can't thank them enough for everything that they do.
I see on sheet D next to us, Team Flash is up 1-0 over Buick. And on sheet E, I see Team Howard is up 3-0 over Dunstone. After the first end of play, that's registered on the board so far, but I do see that the second end has just finished, so I'll provide you with an update as soon as I can.
And with our game, we've got Team Edin that put their first rock in the house. So, of course, we've got the Tardi team playing on it. Looks like this might, without the guards being placed initially. This might be a bit of a clean end.
I don't see we'll see a lot of rocks in play
No.
this end. That's right.
Bra fart! Oskar, Oskar, Oskar. Det är bra.
And Sherry, with this being an Olympic year or an Olympic trials year, everyone's gearing up for the Olympics and the trials. We've got our 2021 Tim Hortons curling trials coming up in November in Saskatoon. And a few of the teams that were here playing in our event have already qualified for the trials. We've got Dunstone, Team Dunstone, Kevin Cooey's team, the Epping team, and the McEwen team have already made it, and there's 2 more spots available, and I know there was talk of a lot of these teams heading out to try and fill those spots. So
What an exciting year, and honestly, the Olympics seems to be the pinnacle of success in the curling world, and it is really exciting that we can even see the games again at this point. We've been so locked down and haven't been able to curl and haven't been able to get out to these events. That's really awesome that we can have this event here in Penticton this week, and that these guys can help prepare, get those points, get the experience, come together as a team, and really prepare for those Olympic trials in Saskatoon in just a few short weeks.
it is. It's just a few short weeks away, and yeah, you're right. You know, it's their ultimate goal currently. You know, it seems to be it's a 4-year cycle for these teams, and that's what their goal is for right now. And it's playing all of these wonderful events, getting to play these teams, and just really, you know, fine-tuning their sport.
I think, too, with it being an Olympic trials year, I think we'll see in 2022, the 2022-23 season, we'll see a lot more. These teams that we see right now are really gelling together for that pre-Olympic trials period. What we'll see after the Olympic trials is like a bit of a jumble of some of these teams that we're normally seeing together. We might start to see some teams that break up, mix up, change positions, and just become a little more adaptive to people's lifestyles and what they choose to do, their competitive choices. And
yeah, that's right, Sherry. Yeah, you said it really well. It's a lot of it is adapting your lifestyle. This sport, it takes a lot of commitment, and it's not just commitment from the players, but it's their families as well, because they can be away and have to travel for, you know, extensive periods of time. So you definitely, you know, after an Olympic year, you do tend to see a little bit of a shuffle of teams adapting. You know, a lot of these players don't necessarily live really close to each other, so they have to come to events like this to be able to play together.
See some action on the outside of the sheet of the 12-foot. Seeing some messy, get it all cleaned up here. It's like we're starting again at the first rock. So
that's right.
Here we are.
That's right.
First of third stones here in the third end of play at the Penticton Nufloors Curling Classic. Thank you so much to our viewers for joining us this evening and providing us some comments. Thanks for keeping us in line. Let me know when I say something wrong. and thank you so much for viewing and just being a part of this event. Having you all out there makes us feel like this is all really worth it. So thank you for watching and sharing this event with your friends and family as well.
You roll out, that's fine.
We've got Sterling Middleton. Playing a hit on the Edin stone in the house.
Whoa, Jay.
We predicted a fairly clean end
We
this
did,
end,
we
and
did.
I think we were pretty right on that. except that we did just see an unexpected error from Sterling Middleton, who didn't that rock just didn't seem to curl for him, whether it was just shit too much weight, whether he was off the I didn't think that the line was off, so it had just been a little more weight than they wanted.
That's right. That's right. It certainly seemed that way. It seemed like he hit the broom, so it might have been a weight situation.
Sports psychology has become a really important part of this game, and so recovering from a miss and how you do that mentally and that mental fortitude to carry on through the game, even after a miss or an error in communication, really important. And I think it's important to easily recover from that, or to quickly recover from an error and put it behind you.
That's right. It's become a very big part of the game. Very big part of the game, because you not only need the physical strength to play the game, but you need the mental fortitude to be able to recover from a miss and to be able to reset and get back in the hack for your second shot. We had Oscar Eriksson deliver a back 4 draw right in behind their top 12 rock. And we've got Sterling Middleton back up, clearing out that 12-foot Edin stone. He wasn't making any mistake about that one. Threw some nice weight at it.
So we are in the third end of play here. We're just at the first of skip stones here in the third end of play.
Sounds like Oscar and Nicholas are having a bit of a chat, trying to decide if they should put another center rock up or split the house. Looks like they may have decided to split the house. Going to draw to the side of the house.
Jag gillar jämnhöjd är bra, men nästan helst att den här är en halv eller en sten högre, tror jag. Inte som man lämnar dubbeln, så att han inte kan frysa mittstenen och den kan få stöd.
Once again, Nicholas, and Nicholas is so great at communicating with his team members once he gets down here, and communicating with his sweepers and getting some feedback from them on what they think the ice is. Making sure that everybody's on the same page with the shot that's intended before the rock is thrown.
It's always a good idea.
Seems simple, but it gets missed sometimes when you're in the half.
There can be assumptions made that everyone thinks that one thing's happening, but it's actually another. So it's always good to have that pre-throw chat. And they seem to be handling it very nicely.
We should see Nicholas go, close to, not quite to T-line, but certainly in the 12-foot.
Quarter, third.
Without too much time down there in the house to decide. Looks like Tyler has decided to hit that rock that's on the edge of the 12-foot, and based on those angles, I'm thinking that he's also thinking that there's a double possibility there as well.
Right.
So
that's right. He seemed very sure of that. Even before the rock had stopped, I think he was ready for this shot.
A left-handed thrower, so sometimes they have get a lot of curl. Oh, ouch. Oh. And a disappointing miss for Tyler. Tardi just missing that rock on the edge of the 12-foot. So we'll see what Nicholas does here. Again, Team Tardi does have the hammer here, so last rock advantage. But it does put the momentum in favor of Nicholas Edin. So we'll see what happens here, where he puts this next rock.
That was an unfortunate miss for Tyler. He, like I said earlier, he did seem very certain. He was heading down the ice very quickly, He knew what he wanted, but maybe he needed to just take that little extra minute to really be sure.
There is not the pressure of clocks on this event, and taking that extra moment or two to really put the broom in the right spot, to sit in the hat and take that breath, could be that important second that makes all the difference to that shot. And so, we're seeing a young team that has been super successful doing what they do the way they do it, and they're just awesome at their game. But we are seeing some misses like that. Perhaps that's due to not taking that extra moment of consideration.
And these are all learning experiences for any player out there. Anytime you miss a shot.
That's right. And it is early in the game. There's a ton of time to recover from any small errors at this point.
That's right. And Team Tardi does have hammer, so it looks like Tyler's got a double here, and he'll be able to. The plan would be for him to collect a single point.
That's right. Again, we started this event on Thursday with 24 teams. We can certainly have more. The intention of this event from its very inception was it to have a third be international players, a third be top Canadian players, and a third be provincial club league players who could all play together and get that opportunity and experience. So here we go, Tyler Tardi. What do you have for us this time? And we see a double.
There we
and
go.
Sticks around for the single point in the third end. Tyler Tardi game now tied at 1 point each. Little updates around the sheets. I'm going to watch a score point go up on sheet B, and I'll let you know what that was. So Team McEwen leads Team Robillard with the score of 3-0 in the start of the fourth end of play. On sheet D, I've got still Team Flash leading that game. I don't think the score is updated though. And on sheet E, I still see a score of 3-0 for Team Howard over Team Dunstone, and that'll be a game that we're going to want to watch. All of these games now, these 8 teams that are here, they all know that they're in the money. We pay out to the 12th team that is eliminated. So each of the teams 9 through 12 have already been paid out $2,500 each. So congratulations to those teams. Teams 5 through 8 are going to be paid a check of $5,000. Teams 3 and 4 each get a prize of $9,000. Second place gets $14,000 and a first place purse of $18,000. So this event is a big purse, the biggest in Canada for this type of event, and we're just so proud to have it here in Penticton. Thanks again to our sponsors.
We really, really are lucky to have this event here, and we couldn't do it without our sponsors. So thank you so much to Nufloors Penticton, who is our major sponsor. Brad and Annette Wood, huge sponsors of the game of curling. I don't know if any of you have been watching. Hopefully you've been watching a lot of this event, but you might notice that some of the team uniforms have Nufloors sponsors on quite a lot of them. They sponsor a lot of teams. They are just so wonderful.
I wasn't going to brag on behalf of Brad and Annette, but they did, were recognized by Curl BC 2020 Sponsor of the Year.
As they
by
should
Curl
be.
BC.
They should be
They sponsor
recognized.
events. They sponsor teams. They provide support to Penticton Curling Club. They support events throughout the province, not just this one. It is incredible, their reach and their desire to help share this sport. So thank you so much to Nufloors Penticton, and I'm really pleased to see that they are being recognized as Sponsor of the Year, because they should be. It is truly incredible what the work that they've done to help support curling across the province. So thank you so much.
Line's good. Bit of room.
And we've got, of course, the fourth end of our Team Edin, Team Tardi game underway. We're tied at 1-1. And we had Team Tardi put up their center guard, Team Edin with the corner. And now we've got Jordan Tardi putting his second rock right in the forefoot, nicely tucked behind their own guard.
That's right. So for those of you who may have just joined us or joined us after the start of our game, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. My name is Sherry Bercalo Diaz. At my side is Michelle Pratt. We are here commentating this feature game for you, which is the Team Tardi versus Team Edin here at the Nufloors Penticton Curling Classic. This is the start of the fourth end of play, and we'll see Team Nicholas Edin with the blue rocks and Team Tardi with the red rocks. Once again, thank you for joining us. Thanks for being at my side today, Michelle. I'm really pleased that you are here, and just again a big thank you to our feature game sponsors, which is Outdoor Living Today, Greyback Construction, and Canadian Tire. Thank you. That's brilliant. I love seeing their logos on our page as we talk about those feature sponsors. And crowd is excited about something I missed.
We missed all the fun back there. We're just busy working here, and we've got Jason Ginter with his first stone, and he makes a beautiful little soft weight hit and roll in behind cover. Looks like Nicholas Edin could probably still access it. I think it might only be partially buried. He'll be making a play on it. And this should be Rasmus Rana.
That rock did not seem to come back for him the way he wanted, and it took out 3 red rocks. Everything that was going to be causing them any sort of trouble is now out of the picture. Blue rock sitting comfortably. Nice triple takeout from Rasmus Verna.
Very nice.
What a great group of players. These guys have been outstanding all weekend long. Came into this with a 5-0 record, and just incredible play.
There's just, I just love watching this caliber of curling. Like you said, Sherry, you know, we had so many rocks in play there, and then with one shot, there it is, it's gone. So these are truly amazing athletes that we're watching. They're really great at their sport.
One of the things that I love about this sport is that sense of community that you get, and I'm looking around our club tonight and I'm seeing so many faces, and even though we cannot sell the tickets that we would have normally sold, and believe me, this place would be jam-packed to the rafters if we could sell as many tickets as possible. But of course, we are safety first and can staying within public restriction orders, and here in British Columbia. So, you know, we do so appreciate the live streaming opportunity, and that we have viewers like you guys who are watching from home. And thank you so much for being with us tonight, because you can't be here in person. That is, we just saw another miss from Sterling.
Unfortunately.
You know, just missing some of those takeouts. They haven't gotten into too much trouble with those misses, so they've been a little bit fortunate in that way, but I don't think that they can continue with those types of misses and play against the reigning world champion and come out ahead. So we're going to have to see a little bit of tightening up happening on Team Tardi, just to take that extra breath. Maybe it's jitters, youth, but you know, there's a lot of factors. And so it's,
I know we have a lot of Tardi
Tardi
fans who are watching us this evening, so we're all really hoping, you know, we want to see some great curling.
Well,
mostly.
that's just it. Everyone's
Yeah.
rooting for good shots.
Yeah.
That's what you really want to see. You hate to see a miss. So, yeah, they'll figure it out.
Det är bara 3,5 fina fot känns som. Ja, rakt där alltså.
There we go. We see Sterling taking a little extra moment in the hack there, settling in, doing what he knows he can do.
Looks like Sterling is following in the Edin stone.
That's right. Wait for that nice controlled weight. Gotta get past this first guard. And it just misses. And Sterling's very disappointed with that shot, and understandably so. Shake it off. Shake it off.
That's right. Reset.
That's
Reset.
right. So pretty tough stuff to do. Once again, thank you to Nufloors Penticton. We've got a ton of sponsors on our sheets of ice. You can see the logos of Nufloors Penticton, Copper Mug Pub, Visit Penticton, and we're just so pleased to have all of these sponsors on board. Of course, if you are watching and you have never visited Penticton before, please feel free to try and create an opportunity to get here. It is incredible every season.
It's funny you mentioned that. I was just thinking that very same thing today. It was a beautiful, sunny fall day here in Penticton. Slightly windy, but that's okay. It was just lovely, and I just couldn't help but think how lucky we are where we live. And definitely, if you get a chance, come to Penticton, check it out. Really, any season is beautiful.
I noticed the Visit Penticton has a ton of fall getaway packages right now. So working with our local accommodators and attractions. There's still a ton of wineries open, and again, we have 200 wineries within a 1-hour drive of our community.
And Sherry, I do my very best to visit each and every one of them.
It's homework.
It is. It is.
I
you know,
take
somebody's got to do it.
Very seriously.
But in all seriousness, we do have some amazing wineries here. So if that's your thing, absolutely come our way. Spend some time, though. It will take you a while.
It does.
To visit some, if not all of them.
Years of dedicated practice isn't enough.
World-class wineries, for sure.
Beer Week starting next week as well. We have 7 breweries within our community, and they've all come together to create a collaborative brew this year, and every year they do. So
it's definitely a growing industry in our area.
Exciting.
So yeah, we're lucky to have that.
Yeah. So Tyler Tardi there, sitting shot rock after a great little hit and roll to sit just behind the tee line, just touching the button. So
Nicholas Edin does have the hammer here, so he's going to be making a play on that Tardi stone, and the plan would be to split the house to roll over and hopefully play for a deuce.
Skulle kunna gå mjukare, men känns som då blir det alltid en halvträff bak i en bricka.
Nicholas Edin settling into the hack for the first of his stones here in the 4th end of play, the Nufloors Penticton Curling Classic. Thanks again for joining us today, this evening. Well, we cannot determine at this point who is playing tomorrow. We can tell you that our next live stream broadcast is at 8:30 in the morning as we watch Nicholas Edin do a simple takeout. And now we watch Tyler Tardi come down for his last rock of this end. once again, those rocks are set up just right for him to be able to attempt that takeout. And I'm sure he's got to take that little extra breath, some time in the hack.
I would anticipate that
and that
Tyler's
he's attempting
playing the
that double.
That's right.
So
that's right. Nicholas didn't quite get the roll that he'd wanted. He got a bit of a roll, but he needed a bit more.
We're seeing a ton of weight here. We're not going to see a miss this time. This is a great double takeout for Tyler Tardi. Congratulations, that's wonderful. And again, with Team Edin has the hammer. We'll likely see this rock go right through the house, as there's nothing else in there, so that he can hold on to the hammer for the 5th end of play.
And that's just what he's doing.
One step at a time.
Once again, we would like to thank our team, our sponsors of this game, and just really want to say thank you to all of our sponsors in general. And just, it is such a cool opportunity for us to have this event here in Penticton. Again, tonight's game is brought to you by Outdoor Living Today. That's a group of manufacturing company here in Penticton that specializes in premium cedar outdoor buildings, such as gazebos and pergolas and sheds. So you can basically do it yourself, but they provide you with all of the supplies. So really cool to have that in Penticton. We've got Greyback Construction, which has been around Penticton a ton of years and just building neighborhoods, and you know, they're building the backbone of our community. And so thank you so much to Greyback Construction. Canadian Tire, basically across the street from us here from the Penticton Curling Club. They're not too far away, and we do really appreciate their support. Canadian Tire across the country is great supporters of curling and sport in general, and specifically junior sports. So we always appreciate the support of Canadian Tire. Thank you so much for everyone who has provided support for this event. We do thank our sponsors very much.
And really, we would ask that if you have the opportunity, please thank these sponsors. If you happen to be in their business, or if you meet any of them, please tell them that you heard that they sponsored the event and thank them, because truly we couldn't do this without them.
That's okay.
We've got the 5th end of play underway for the Edin Tardi game. We are still tied at 1-1. And Team Edin does have the hammer. They blanked the last end to hold on to the hammer.
We're seeing some really tight scores here across the sheets. I'd like to mention that I can see on sheet B, McEwen still leads that game, and that is 3-0 over Robillard in the 4th end. On sheet D, I see a 2-0 lead, Flash over Buke in the 4th end of play. And on sheet E, Howard leads Dunstone by a score of 3-2, currently sitting at near the end of the 4th end of play there as well.
We've got Jordan Tardi here with his 2nd stone in the 5th end here. He put up a nice center guard. And now he's playing a come around. Playing just a little tap on the Edin stone that's in the top 8 foot, and he played that beautifully. Very nice touch.
Been hoping for a little curl to the inside center line, but still happy with that tap back.
Bara precis trycka igenom den. Hack. Lite mer än hack just nu.
Now we've got Christopher Sundgren throwing his 2nd stone, and he will be playing basically the same shot that we just saw from Jordan Tardi.
Oscar Peterson finishing the sweep there as they get the little tap back and take that rock right out of play.
And those last two shots were wonderful examples of being able to play that control hit weight.
Isn't that true? Yeah.
And really, you know, bringing your sweepers much more into that shot and helping, you know, either finish it if you need to or keep it straight if you need to.
A lot more control over those that nice controlled weight.
There's certainly a time and a place for those high weight hit shots, but on this beautiful ice we've got, it's got a lot of curl to it, so it's really nice for them to be able to play those really finesse soft hit weight shots.
Not only did they get the top Edin stone out of the house, they managed also to tap out the rock that could have caused them some trouble later in the end by tapping that out. So that was a nice, easy double shot, double takeout on that.
That was a nice little bonus there, wasn't it? And we've got Rasmus Rana delivering his stone to clean up what's left in the house.
Here we have a nice clean house here in the middle of the fifth end of play.
I read something interesting about Nicholas Edin. He actually didn't start curling until the age of 14. And he was only 18 when he won his first World Juniors title. So he clearly picked up the game quite quickly. And what helped him, he says, is in high school he watched VHS tapes of the best players from Canada. He was analyzing their tactics and styles, and that helped him advance his game. So we helped bring him to where he is today.
You know, and we're so proud. We are.
We're happy to help.
Yeah. That is actually really interesting, and I think one of those things that we're seeing now is a ton of Canadian players that might retire out of competitive curling and into coaching are in high demand globally because of the skill set that Canadians have. And so you'll see Canadian coaches that go and coach anywhere else in the world, and that skill set is highly sought after. So it's pretty exciting to be able to have this level of curling in our country.
Well, absolutely, and an example of that is this weekend we saw Kelowna's Bob Ursel here coaching Team Matsumura.
Right.
And he's been working with them for a number of years. So, yeah, definitely that's really helping bring the sport along.
We've seen Wayne Maddaw go and coach Anna Hasselberg. We've seen some great coaches go to Japan and China and really help bring the sport live and have some great players coming out of countries that in the past it wasn't a natural or a fit that was their national sport.
That's right.
Like we have winter sports here in
Canada.
Countries. That's right. Mm-hmm. So pretty exciting stuff. You and I have both coached teams. I've been the head coach of the Junior Curling League for 9 years or 10 years, and before retiring from that. But Michelle, tell me a little bit about what's going on with your junior girls competitive team here in Penticton. What's going on for you guys this year?
Yes, I've been lucky enough to coach a wonderful group of junior girls that you got started in the sport, so thank you for that. We've been working together for about 4 years, and we were very excited to attend the Winter Games, the BC Winter Games.
How exciting.
And we made it to the championship round. We didn't medal, but we did make it to the championship round, and we're thrilled. So that was step one. Then unfortunately, as we all know, the pandemic hit, so last year was a bit of a bust for curling, but this year is a busy year. We've got a lot of events coming up. We're going to be going to the Rick Cotter Memorial Spiel, run by his son Jim Cotter, who was here this weekend. We're going to that in Vernon next weekend. And then we've got the U18 provincial event coming up at the end of December. We're hoping to participate in the BC High School Curling Championships, and then possibly qualify for the Canadian, the 2023 Canadian Winter Games. So there's a lot happening.
Your sights are set high. That is so cool. I'm really excited to hear everything that goes on with your girls team. I noticed that they are selling raffle tickets. Is there a way for any of our viewers to help support the junior girls competitive team? Is there any way to buy raffle tickets online or anything like that? Or
I would love to say yes, but I'm looking at the time, and actually
the draw is in 15 minutes.
In about 5 minutes, so that won't work for this time. But we'll definitely have more fundraising events because, of course, it does cost a lot of money to go to all of these events.
Yeah.
So we will definitely have more opportunities to help support the program. But yeah, thank you for mentioning that. I appreciate it.
Too late, but
next time.
Next time. That's
time.
right.
Yeah.
So we're seeing a nice clean end here again in the 5th end of play here at the Nufloors Penticton Curling Classic. Feature game here tonight, of course, Team Tardi versus Team Edin. My name is Sherry Bercalo Diaz, and at my side is Michelle Pratt. Thank you again, Michelle, for joining me here tonight. And I really appreciate your support. And it's fun to be able to do this event and share my favorite sport with so many of our viewers who, again, I believe this is their favorite sport too. Look at all those people who are chatting us up on our live chat.
That's wonderful.
Is really cool. So thank you, everyone. Hi,
so
Jamie.
Clearly we're not the only curling fans.
No, we're not. We're not.
Good to know.
It's really great to see that throughout the nation, and that this event is embraced by players who come from all over and provide an economic driver to our community at this point in the year. It's pretty exciting.
That's just it. It's really nice to have that, to bring in the fans. We back in 2018, we were lucky enough to host the Scotties Tournament of Hearts here in Penticton, and that was a huge draw for fans, for curlers, for spectators, and that was one of our first big events that we hosted. We hosted it at the South Okanagan Events Centre, and boy, the community really rallied. We had hundreds and hundreds of volunteers that helped put that event on, and it was just a wonderful success. I can't wait for the next event that we might be able to host.
And that is really exciting. The Scotties Tournament of Hearts was amazing to have here. And if you understand our complex, our Penticton Curling Club is right nestled in this little hub of entertainment district, which has the South Okanagan Events Center and the Penticton Trade and Convention Center, and Memorial Arena and the casino and Match Eatery. We're right in the middle of a ton of fun stuff here at the Penticton Curling Club, and we were here first.
We were here first, and they built around us. Yeah. No, it's a really great hub. It's a great little hub, and we're very, very lucky to have it. That's for sure.
Great.
We've got the Edin Tardi game in the 6th end.
We also wanted to mention that there is opportunities for you to view the live streaming events, which are happening on curling.com. And so you can get to those from watching curling.com or by going to the pentictoncurlingclub.ca, and you can get redirected to watch either the Robillard McEwen game, which now is at a score of 3-2 for McEwen in the 5th end. McEwen has the hammer, and on sheet D we've got Flash versus Buick. And that game, of course, being streamed, live streamed on curling.com as well, whose support is immense this year. We really appreciate having the team from curling.com and coming in and just providing more live stream opportunities. It's pretty exciting that they feel it's well enough attended and worth their airtime to have this event. So it just shows there is that support for curling in around the world.
Splitten kanske
Absolutely,
eller?
so lucky to have them come on board so that
Han
we're
slänger
able
dem
to
en hög
show,
sen.
you know,
Ja.
most of this event. We've got
What a shot.
3 sheets that they're able to promote for us, and yeah, we just
Gunilla!
can't thank them
Vart
enough.
Igenom då bara. Ja. Bara försöka här någonstans, en tredjedels träff
I'm
liksom.
not. Do you draw around that? Or you tap it? Oh my goodness.
Hyfsat. Ja. Ja. Ja.
This is walking here.
Whoa. Ralle.
We've got Team Edin
Järnet får den översatt.
throwing blue rocks. Tyler
Okay.
Tardi's team with the red rocks.
This game is still tied at 1. We're in the 6th end of play. I can't tell you how exciting this is to have such top caliber players right here in front of us, and just with such a tight game. This is still anybody's game here. Again, we are only playing the 8 ends, so we are well into the second half of this game, and you know, I think that we've got a higher level of comfort with both teams, so we'll start to see some more interesting shots. The ice, of course, is adapting to the play, so we aren't seeing too many spots on the ice that haven't been played in, maybe with the exception of far to the outsides, but both sides of the ice have been played evenly, and these guys are becoming more aware of what those rocks are doing and how they're curling, how they're finishing. And we're seeing a great shot here.
That was very nice. Jason Ginter put up a nice guard.
Great.
So we've got the 2 Tardi stones, one in the top 4, one betting the top 8, and we've got a couple of Edin stones in guard positions, but definitely advanceable. And I think that's definitely what Nick's looking at right now, is advancing one of his stones. See if he can eliminate 1 or 2 of those Tardi stones.
Normal. In. Up. Ja! Yes. Hårt! Ut med den. Mycket bra. Perfekt.
And that was a very nice shot from Rasmus Rana. He was able to eliminate one of the Tardi stones.
If you're short, that's fine.
We've got the replay here. And then, of course, he was able to bury one of his. So we'll see if that's...
Tyler's happy to guard here in this shot.
Yeah, Nicholas Edin, their team does have the hammer, so I think Tyler's happy to put up another guard and protect his 4-foot rock at this stage.
Curl. Really has to curl. 5 almost. Sterling's always. Okay, can't bounce on this line.
Coming in a shade deeper than they wanted.
Never can bounce on this line.
Får den precis runt.
But a freeze to that is just fine.
Good job.
In fact, that's a great spot for that to end up.
That definitely does the job. And you know, that brings up a good point, Sherry. It might not be exactly what they were looking for or what Tyler had asked for, but it definitely still guards his shot stone, and it helps me prevent any runbacks that Nick might have been playing with that stone. So it definitely helped.
Inte jättemycket plats.
I think in our league play we would call that a plan B.
That's right.
Ja, 3-4 center på garden. Kanske lite mer, men 5 center.
So they're wondering, can they get past that center line guard to split and open these up? Because that's,
yeah, and it's
my
early enough in
Swedish.
the end that that would, you understood all that. I get it. Okay. It's definitely early enough in the end that I would anticipate that they might want to look at just juggling those rocks around a little bit so that they could maybe
I think so
access
too.
them a little bit better.
Yeah.
Det skulle inte vara skitnice att chappa, så blir det
stannar den där bakom cornern här nere.
Nej, det är inte optimalt.
Det är ju träffen är det enda viktiga skulle jag säga.
Om vi chappar med
Another fun fact about Nicholas Edin is he is the only skip in history
Då lägger de väl en ny gard här
have
också.
5
man väl dubbla
world
centers.
champion
Det är fortfarande
titles.
ganska mycket vägar in. Så
Yeah, but were they consecutive?
Vanlig 10 kanske då.
vanlig 10 gillar jag.
No.
Försöka få lite curl i
Och
den.
den lilla,
That I
lilla
don't-
vinkeln
I
så borde
wouldn't
den
be
här komma
surprised.
dit.
I'm not sure that they were.
I don't believe that they were,
and
no.
an incredible feat.
But
That is so amazing.
fantastic.
That's such incredible play. 5 world time champions and the current reigning world champion.
That's right.
He is definitely highly respected in the curling community and across the globe. So thank you for making your 5th trip to Penticton, maybe?
That could be more. That maybe he's traveled to and we don't even know about it. But yeah, probably about that many times.
It's pretty exciting. So we are happy to have them here. Again, I mentioned that this event has frequently been at the same time as the European championships, and that they've been unable to attend some of our curling, the Nufloors Penticton Curling Classics. Even though they would love to be here, they love the points, they love the prize money, they love Canada, they love Penticton. They can't always be here because they're in European Championships. So they were so pleased to be able to commit to this event this year due to the timing of this event, which is earlier for us than it normally is. So
That's right. A little bit earlier this year.
So we've already started our curling leagues. Started a week or so ago, and
Hard to it. Yep. Shooter, yep.
so exciting to be able to get back into curling after, we had a short season in 2020. We curled for about 6 weeks before we got shut down. And
Och vilka gardfegen eller?
Felt like we didn't even get to curl, but no, you're right. It was a very short season.
Skulle du bara
And
klippa den clean och rulla undan så måste
looking at
de
the
nästan
action
sätta
here
dubbel
right
känns som.
now, we had Rasmus Rana play a nice shot and opened it up a little bit. Tyler Tardi trying to respond, but I think Sterling Middleton it overcurled a little bit for him, I believe.
yeah,
We've got
Oscar Eriksson coming in for this nice little split takeout and gets rid of that red rock that's in the house, causing them some issue. So again, we've seen just such great curling and such accurate shots being made from Oscar Eriksson.
We've seen so many of these from him.
Great
You just can't
shots.
leave them for him because he's making.
You're going to be in trouble
almost
all
all of
day
them.
long.
That's right.
He's just so accurate. It's such a pleasure to watch him.
So time for a little bit of cleanup here for Sterling Middleton. Get rid of those 2 Edin stones if you
That
can.
looks like it's coming in nicely, and that'll definitely help Sterling shake off a couple of those earlier misses,
That was a nice
making a
hit.
nice double takeout. Again, the house is clean now, but we do have 3 Edin rocks sitting out front.
And those are problematic for Tyler Tardi for sure because that gives Nicholas Edin a lot of opportunity to bury a shot or 2 that Tyler is then going to have to respond to. So those guards are definitely problematic for Team Tardi.
Ja, där ja.
Especially when Nicholas has Team Edin has the hammer.
Yes.
So we're
Jag tror inte vi behöver kolla på hur
just starting first of skip stones here. Is that right? Or is this
We've
last
still got,
of
this is last.
Oscars?
Oscars last
vart jag la min i fjärde omgången. Gillar ni det här? Ja. Center.
Again, 4 sheets of ice in play here at the Penticton Curling Club at the Nufloors Penticton Curling Classic. We have Team Robillard just down 1 from Team McEwen, so Team McEwen leads that game 3-2 in the 6th end of play. Team McEwen would have the hammer. We'll watch Oscar Eriksson come in for this shot. Looks like he's going to attempt a draw to be on the right-hand side of the sheet.
Yeah, they're definitely going to try and utilize those guards that they've got up. And there we go, that whistling. It's helpful when you're in an arena like this, and you've got so many other teams playing, so many other players yelling. Sometimes you can't hear if you've got your skip calling you to sweep or not. So it's very effective. I can't imagine that they would not be able to hear them. So
it is really interesting to be able to have that technique. I had not heard that before, so it was really interesting for one of our watchers to tell me that was one of our viewers told me that was Nicholas. So that's pretty cool. And
what are we trying to do here? Get across?
Yeah, so we've still got a couple of
right
great.
Nose, and if we can get to it, but
let's see what Tyler has to say here.
I think I do.
I think this is gonna.
I don't have all of it.
Okay, so
Sterling and Tyler are chatting to see if he's got room to get at it, but it looks like they're possibly looking at a run instead.
What are you thinking for speed out here?
Running back one of the guards.
I'm thinking like 10 feet slow.
I was going to say 6.
Yeah.
I think it's 6, but 10 is safe. I think 6 is.
Okay.
So these guys are just talking about what the speed that they're sort of expecting this to go, and Tyler's going to have to come right out to the broom here. It's pretty far out.
Based on that
Hard,
weight,
Jay.
it certainly looks like it's a draw, some type of a
Hard, do
draw
it.
or a light tap.
Hard!
Jason Ginter sweeping hard.
Great
Getting
sweeping.
just
and
past that guard.
yeah, just that nice tap weight that we've been talking about.
And
Really well handled by that team.
very nicely done. Just makes it past that guard. And ends up sitting
What do you think? 10 feet? And they're like, no, just 6.
12 foot near the center line.
Back 12.
Not behind
nice
cover, but it is a great shot getting rid of that rock that could have caused them a bit of a headache here later in this end.
And that was a well-handled, well-talked about rock. You know, you saw Tyler Tardi sitting in the hack talking to his sweepers about what he needed for weight, and they were communicating back and forth, and so everybody was on the same page
Again,
about
taking that time.
Right, exactly.
Right.
They all knew what was happening, and it was a beautifully executed shot.
Det är lite farligt att spela den för passivt också. Vi får lätt toucha cornern och stanna nära guard. Då kan han ju runda och bli nästan. Så jag försöker så jämnt som möjligt, topp 4 fart. Inte längre än så.
Now this is Nicholas Edin's first rock of the 6th end.
Oscar Eriksson holding the broom in the same spot that Nicholas was holding it for Oscar when Oscar was shooting this exact same throw. So we'll see a similar outcome. Maybe a little more hidden this time to keep it away from that accurate Tyler Tardi.
That's right. That's right. And we've got...
Okej, bara sitta, bara sitta.
Stanna, kommer köra över!
Kommer köra över. Bite 8 bara.
Kommer köra över!
Bara sitta.
Finish that rock.
Ja, säkert. Bite 8 bara.
So not quite as deep as the first one, and again, just as dangerous. Right behind guard, and a little bit tougher, I think, for Team Tardi to try and get to.
It is, because it's higher in the house. There's much less room for the rock to curl in behind that guard at the speed that they need to move it.
No, like if we're lying 2.
They want it to move.
They do. They need it to move. They may be looking at the run back because it's so
Really
close.
tough to get there.
It is, yeah. I think it's really
Like we're seeing them curl.
man sett en fjärdedel utsida.
I think we can dig it out.
I just don't know if it's any good if we keep it in the house.
He has to play it,
Great discussion between these two players.
right? It's either that or here, but I don't really love
I
that.
don't think that's any good. Can we get to
Or
here?
on this one.
This was my first thought too.
I don't mind that one.
Because
Outdraw.
Yeah.
I think this is
Good
probably
to talk
easier
about all
than
the options.
that. You like it?
Yeah.
Okay.
They both like it. Excellent. So it looks like Tyler's going to draw around to the other side of the house.
I don't see it. That looks so hard to me.
Like I see the chase,
Just to come in
and Sterling hates it.
where the broom is right now, and you're going to
You
have
got a
to come
whisker
in
of
through
it.
this
Most
center
of
line
us are
guard
like
and this
removed
rock
that
right
way.
here that's just in front of the house on the left-hand side of the sheet.
Yeah.
I don't see that being enough room.
Well, and it sounds like the front end has maybe changed their mind. So they're having another discussion. They don't necessarily like it either, Sherry.
What was your call?
Chase it out.
You have nothing.
Like with back line and just punch it to the side
Well,
12.
like, I guess worst case scenario, you're on the card, you spill in. Like, he has to throw for 2.
I feel like that's a harder shot than.
I think there's a lot of cons
Like there's
with the run.
more risk with the run
There
back.
it is.
Definitely
Three's
more
the
risk
game.
Yeah.
with the run back.
You talked about, like, briefly talked about going around the center. You think the guard's just too high?
Yeah. Guard's way too high.
I like to see teams talk like this, but what
Chase
I like
doesn't
to
look
see
bad.
better is for them all
I
to
got
be
a whisker
together,
of it.
not having two separate discussions. So it probably would have been more
mentioned the
helpful
run, it's just got
had
to
the
I
front
hate
end
the
come
run.
down and they had the discussion in the house.
Yeah, if we ever jam it.
But at least they're all together now,
doesn't like to
and they'll
come
be
around
all on
center,
the same
so it's really-
page.
You know, if we
I
could
like the
screenshot
chase.
that, that's a great team photo
It
right
is.
there.
Get the chase out.
Actually, that's
Yep. And like
super
I
cool.
said, if we spill off the guard, we just have to get a
Once
shot.
again,
Yeah.
we would like to thank Outdoor Living Today, Greyback Construction, Canadian Tire, and Nufloors Penticton for supporting this event. And I just want to take that opportunity as this team has changed their minds. They've come down, they've had a discussion as a team, and they've decided as a team with this last rock of play in the sixth end for the team Tardi. They have decided
I
to
got a
see
sliver
if
of
they
it.
can try to punch back. The
Just
shot
shy of
rock,
high.
which is Team Edin, sitting at the top
that,
of the top of the house. So
Well, and the really important
Like that
thing
or
here
hair
is Tyler has to believe it.
They're
He
giving
has
nice
to
buttons
believe
for
it when he's sitting in that hack, getting ready to throw his rock. He has to visualize it.
that's-
So
Speechless.
I'm assuming that he does now.
we can see from this viewpoint here as kind of from Tyler's viewpoint in the hack, and I can see how they would be tempted to do that draw in
Yes.
on the left-hand side of the sheet. It looks trickier from up here than it does from the hack viewpoint. Now let's just take a look here and see what happens as
Close.
they're
Jordan.
trying to carve that rock,
Whoa, G!
control that rock,
Hard G!
get it past that guard,
Hard!
punch that out,
Wow.
Get out.
stay in the house,
That was
and does not
And
stay in
it
the house,
doesn't.
but it does move shot rock
it
out of the
does.
way and makes the Tardi rock now something to deal with.
that was a very tough shot. That rock was overburied. So they really did have to play it with precision. I think the only way that they possibly could have handled that any differently is to play less weight. I don't know. I think he honestly played it about as best as he could. That was a
right.
lovely shot. But now, of course, we've got Nicholas Edin with his opportunity to get his dues. He's going to need to play that, make a play on that Tardi rock that's in the back 12 because it is currently shot stone.
What was there? 4 feet less weight.
I'm seeing last rock of play on sheet B with Team McEwen clearing the house to keep the hammer and also his lead of 3-2 over Team Robillard. So great game going on over there on sheet B. Feel free to use multiple devices and watch 3 games at once.
That's right. That's right.
Not
Pull
forgetting
them all
about your
up
feature
on-
game.
Pull them all up on
Here we've got
curling.com.
Team Nicholas Edin. Nicholas just needs to hit and stick for the deuce, and he does so. We see Nicholas Edin take the lead here in the 6th end of play. The score is now 3-1. We're heading into the 7th end of play, and Team Tardi is being a tough team to beat. Their accuracy and their skill shot is pretty amazing. So we're watching these guys. Everybody's playing a good game, and we're seeing a nice low score, and so that's pretty exciting. Over here next to us on sheet D, again, Flash versus Buick, and Flash still leads that game. Now, Buick did come back in the 5th end with a couple of points, but the score now is 4-2 for Flash. Colton Flash, obviously, are originally from the Saskatchewan, and so we'll see what happens out of this team. Team Flash.
Yeah, 3 feet less weight.
Okay, and over on sheet E, as I mentioned, we were going to keep a close eye on the Dunstone-Howard game. Howard still is in the lead on that game, and its score is 4-2 on sheet E. Again, we're down to 8 teams in this event. Everybody's in the money. They're all feeling good, but the competition is tough. That's a big difference between $5,000 and $18,000. So everybody's playing their hearts out. It is really awesome to see here in Penticton at the Nufloors Penticton Curling Classic.
You're right, Sherry. It is a big difference. Every game matters so much at this point. I mean, it mattered in the beginning as well. Clearly, we've lost, amazing teams like Kevin Cooey and Glenn Howard, and so many other teams that we thought for sure we'd see today, tomorrow. But no, it's just been such an amazing level of competition here.
Yeah, it's been great, and we are really pleased to have everybody here. And thank you so much to our viewers for taking time out of your weekend to spend some of it with us.
Line's good.
We've got the 7th end of play underway here between Team Edin and Team Tardi.
Hard line. Yep. Yep.
Now, Tyler Tardy's not only
Hard.
men's
Your
team player, he's also playing with his partner Desiree Hawes and the mixed doubles, which is a fun sport. I know that you and your hubby and my hubby and I also play mixed doubles, not quite at their level, but it seems to be that you see a lot of these key players teaming up with the women's players we've seen just recently. A lot of the players join up for the mixed double world championships, and it's a lot of fun.
So many people playing mixed doubles right now. It is it's one of my favorite days of the week.
Yes.
Really, to come out and play a team sport with my husband, and to have just the two of us to have a different strategy, different level of gameplay.
Yeah, I think I would
the
too.
mixed doubles is a ton of fun. In fact, we're seeing this end set up like a mixed doubles end right now.
That's right. I think that's what made me think of it. I was wondering what type of game I was watching here. Yeah, that's right. It's a lot of fun. It's definitely a different game, but it certainly helps you fine-tune your curling skills, that's for sure.
It does. The strategy's a little bit different. Once you've got that draw weight and you can get into the 4-foot, you'll see a lot of play to the 4-foot and in front of the tee line. A great little game. So yes.
Stay on it. Yep.
Best of luck to Tyler and Desiree as they continue on their mixed doubles.
We've got, as anticipated, we've got a lot of rocks in play here. We would expect that Tyler's going to be pushing for multiple points this end if he can. Currently, we've got the Tardy team with a rock nestled nicely on the button, but we do have an Edin stone sitting right in the top 4. So it'll be interesting to see how this end evolves. Got Rasmus Rana right now.
such great curling we've been able to see tonight. We just want to say thank you once again to our viewers who are watching on our live stream event. Again, you can watch this feature game here with us, or visit curling.com and watch the Sheet B game, which is McEwen versus Robillard, or the Sheet D game, which is Flash versus Buick. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Hi, Wanda. I see you. I see you, Wanda. You have said hello to me a couple of times over this weekend, so I wanted to let you know that we do see you, and we want to say hello. So thanks for joining us, everyone.
And thanks for the comments, everybody. It's sure fun to see that everyone's watching.
We have a lot of Tardi fans out there right now, but
how can you not be a Tardi fan, right?
It's so incredible. We're having so much fun here tonight with these two amazing teams, and we're just so lucky.
Here we've got Jason Ginter.
Whoa! 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 Whoa!
Looks like he might be playing a little bit of a tap on his own stone.
Jordan!
If they get the right angle here.
Sterling, yep.
And it looks like they're getting the right angle. So close. And it just skates by. So they were maybe trying to move that a little bit, but that's okay.
They were.
Definitely, with the red rock sitting shot stone, just getting that rock out of the way so that Nicholas Edin can't use it is also helpful for them at this point as well.
And we've got Rasmus Rana throwing his second stone. Rasmus comes from quite a curling family. His dad, Mats, won the World Seniors, and his sister, Isabella, won the World Juniors. So they're quite a prolific curling family in Sweden.
Isn't that amazing? Curling just runs in the blood. It seems like there is a lot of people that start curling because their parents were curlers, or they're from a curling community. We'll see what Tyler decides to do here, but one of the things that I think is really interesting, and one thing that I'd like to see us do in the future is to bring more people to curling that are maybe new to Canada, and that are coming from countries that curling isn't part of that culture. I'd like to see curling really be embraced by our community.
Love that.
In a way that is that makes it accessible to new Canadians. I think it's really exciting.
Jordan, yep. Shooter roll. Big roll.
So we'll see what happens with that as time progresses, but it's kind of a personal goal of mine to introduce that sport to
I wish you
new
luck with that. I think
Pentictonites
that's
and Canadians.
A wonderful goal. And I think the Tardi stone did some of what it was looking at doing. It needed to separate those Edin stones somewhat, juggle them around a little bit, maybe make them a little more accessible.
We are in the seventh end of play, near the end of the seventh end. We go to 8 ends of play here, so you know, Tardi is starting to run out of opportunities if he can't keep those protected. He is sitting shot rock right now, with a ton of pressure being placed by Team Edin. So we'll see what happens here. Tyler looks quite relaxed, sitting at the back of the house and just watching things go. And that's one of the things I love about this young team, is that they never seem to let the pressure really show, even if they are feeling it. I agree.
No,
and that
agree.
Oscar Eriksson with his amazing double takeout once again. Just that accuracy, that deliberate double takeout that is so strong. In fact, almost a triple takeout once again.
really putting the pressure on.
It must be lovely as a skip for Nicholas
Just
Edin
enough to
to
kill it.
have a third like Oscar Eriksson when you just know what you're going to get out of him. It's just must be amazing.
My poor skip. Yes, I agree. Such a high level of players here at this event, and tonight is no exception. Again, our feature game, Tardi versus Edin, world champion Team Edin playing off against world junior champions for a couple of years. Again, they've aged out of juniors, and so just entering this men's circuit, and but this team
they've
really
entered it full steam ahead. Like, they've just got amazing skills, and I think it's been absolutely a natural progression for them. But I think that they've absolutely been embraced by the community, and they're being noticed. That is for sure. This team came out of the gates, that's for sure. They're really being noticed, and people are paying attention to this team.
And I believe that Team Tardi has given a lot of credit to this particular event because they were able to go into juniors after having played and learned from teams such as Nicholas Edin back in 2017, when they were heading to World Juniors, and they were just starting off on the top of their junior game. And that they could come to an event in Penticton, play against Team McEwen, play against Team Howard, play against Team Dunstone, and be able to gain that experience from playing with these top players that they wouldn't have had otherwise. So kudos to our co-chairs, Chris Jones, Kathy Jones, Matt Tully. Thank you so much for creating this event and opportunities for teams like Team Tardi to enter the competitive circuit.
That's just it, and it is just that. It's just an amazing opportunity here, basically at home, in their own province, to play these teams that they might never otherwise have the opportunity to play. And speaking of opportunities, Tyler Tardi had an amazing opportunity last year. He was the 5th player, or the alternate, for the Team Laycock, which was Team Laycock Jim Cotter, at the Briar. So he's had a peek at that experience, and that must be exciting for him to think that, hopefully one day he'll have his own team there.
That's exactly right. And which is why we're seeing cool Tyler Tardi sitting on the back of the
looks like
under
he needs
the
a coffee.
scoreboard. He kind of it looks like he's chilling. He should be in the sun with a margarita, but there he is. There he is, relaxing,
taking it all in.
Well, we know that Team Edin is going to spend a moment or two communicating, making sure that the front end and the back end of the players are each understanding what the other wants from the thrower. We see Oscar Eriksson in the house and in preparing for his shot. Again, Team Edin sitting 2 here in the house.
Sitting 2, and based on where he's got the broom,
kind of looks like we're looking at a guard, doesn't it?
It does. That's what I'm guessing.
Okay.
And Nicholas is showing right there, top,
bringing it into the house, aiming for top 8.
Twisting the knife, making it really tough. So we'll see. That isn't coming to a stop quite yet. Sits top 4 along with the other rock that's sitting top 4, and again the one that's off to the left just sitting T-line at the button. Putting some pressure on Team Tardi now to make a decision.
Probably, eh? Like if you can make this and stick here, it's not looking bad.
And again, I like to see it. The team, this is a crucial
really
shot, so I like to see the team there, so they're all on the same page,
and
they can each have their little bit of input.
Is it ever bad to do that?
That looks a lot less natural.
Yep.
I'm just thinking if you can make this, like, we're looking pretty good.
Do we want to make it
this one? What's that? Probably thin with the shooter. Yeah, if you can stick that, we're looking good for 2 at least.
That's pretty
Know what I mean?
optimistic.
I was
Like
just
if you're
thinking
here,
that. I really like.
you can't really hit
I like
that
his
without jamming
optimism.
here.
Yeah, I like his thinking. So
Well, confidence is
Yeah, I
important.
think that's the shot.
Tyler's definitely looking at
What do you
seeing
think?
how to take a couple of points this end.
Like it's a lot harder to stick that. And this doesn't go. Right?
I'm just thinking more than likely we hit this and spin out with
Yeah.
like the shot Matt's
What's that?
with the shot Matt's more
Yeah.
likely a spin.
Whatever you see.
And again, it's
you're throwing
important
it.
that they are all on the same page,
I think that's the shot though.
that they're convinced in the decision that they make, and that they're confident and ready to go.
I agree.
Yeah, and leave that for like a last shot kind of thing.
Certainly
How many
gone
you
are
got
the
left?
days where the sweepers, the front end, the first,
that's
the
not
lead, and the
terrible.
second, just let the skip and the third make all the decisions. Their input is incredibly important.
We always
and
have that.
Everybody needs to believe in the shot.
Absolutely. It truly is a team game, and
What's that?
you know, every position is just as important as the
I
other.
think that's the shot. It's either thin or slash, whatever you like.
I'm thinking like quarter rock on the outside.
I think it's thinner than a quarter.
Tyler's saying that he's seeing either the thin slash or the in
I
off.
think that gives us a better chance of sticking this one.
Right
They're
there's
taking-
close.
It's really important that you are able to
Right there.
visualize the
I
shot
think that's the
too,
shot,
or
guys.
see it before you get in the hack.
I don't think that one does much for us.
Is this peel or are we going to throw it softer to save it?
Peel.
That's right. Team Edin in the lead here in the 7th end of play at the Penticton Nufloors Curling Classic, and score here is 3-1.
Looks like Sterling Middleton has decided on the shot that he wants to play, and they had a lot of communication.
How's
They
that
talked
look?
about it. They talked about the weights, and I think they've decided on the slash.
It looks like it. So
So they're going to be thinly hitting their own rock back into that block
Yep.
of Edin stones in the forefoot.
Hard! Hard! Gotta go.
and it goes, and it takes out at least.
Oops.
It's gone to sheet A. So we saw
Well,
that
it's- yeah,
rock
it-
get taken out.
Where's Derek Samangalski?
We'll see how that slash happened, hitting the outside of the rock, knocking it in towards the middle, leaving a couple of Edin stones right on the button, but with one pesky Tardi rock there sitting on the edge of the forefoot.
That's right. I think it overcurled a little bit. They didn't hit it exactly where they wanted to, but it did some damage, and we'll see how Edin responds to it.
Not a gimme takeout on that one. It's they are looking and having to hit that fairly precise so it doesn't get a jam.
So they'll be wanting to hit the Tardi stone on the inside to get a bit of a roll in behind their own nice guard there. And
Good translation.
Then it's going to be challenging.
That was good.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Then it'll be a little bit challenging for Tyler, I think, to score if they are successful with this plan.
That's exactly what I'm seeing too, and so we'll see what happens here in the first of skip stones. Tyler Tardi with the hammer here in the 7th end of play. As Nicholas Edin comes out with his out turn. He likes the line.
Good to curl. And it looks like it's going to curl just enough.
And tucks right in there. So Edin team sitting 4 as Tyler comes down for the first of his 2 stones here in the 7th end. Again, we're going to see some discussion and some communication with this team as they decide what's the best way to attack this? And Tyler comes down after deciding where to put the brooms.
These teams are so good at understanding the angles and understanding exactly where they need to hit a stone for the result that they're seeking. So I think they've pretty much decided where they need to hit it to, I guess, provide as much damage as they can, or damage control in this situation, I guess it would be, to try and free things up so that they've got an opportunity to score.
Yep. Hard!
Tight to that guard.
Very
Hits
tight.
all three.
Wow.
Everything goes.
Lovely shot.
And it's
lovely shot.
It's a whole new
removing those
that's right.
3-4 foot stones that were buried. Wow, that just papered that guard.
That just, this Tardi team is so amazing at creating those shots. It's
pretty cool customers, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yes. Very nice. That the double guards on the Edin team are still up there, which provides them the opportunity to, get another one in the 4 foot there that Tyler's going to have to attend to before he can score this end.
That's right. Not to mention the two Edin rocks that are sitting at the back of the house.
Well, there's those two, yes,
yeah,
of course.
So we could be looking at some potential danger here, but let's see where Nicholas puts this rock.
Tyler could be looking at a draw against multiples, but we'll see.
He wants to get tight to that guard, wrap around, and get right into that 4 foot or button area. Ideally staying in front of the tee line. Looking a little bit heavy right now. And it's going to go past the tee line. Oh, lands
just
like there's a magnet right there at the pin. Nicholas Edin, once again, being a master at doing that perfect draw weight.
Well, and the sweepers of knowing what the weight was. They were not touching that stone because they knew it was a hair heavy and they knew they couldn't afford to. So, yeah, well judged by that team.
Thinking down 3 is a little bit better.
Trying to steal one.
All right,
it's
so Tyler's
pretty tough to score right now anyway.
Conceding that stone is going to be very difficult. The 4 foot or button stone is going to be very difficult to remove. So he's planning a hit on the second shot rock.
Hit and stick,
allowing
keeping that
for 1 point.
That's right, keeping Edin at 1 instead of the 3 that he's facing
40%?
right at this moment. So we are here on the last rock of the 7th end of play here in the quarterfinals of this Nufloors Penticton Curling Classic. Once again, we'd like to thank everyone for joining us tonight, and
I think this is the shot.
And we just want to say thank you to everyone who's joining us this evening.
Just give me normal.
We hear that Tyler's going to throw normal takeout weight on that, and so he's taken very little ice right out to the broom.
Yep.
Gotta go.
He's had great success with his normal hit weight, so I could see that that's definitely his comfort
Gets
level.
past the guard, hit, stick.
Very nice.
And a 1 point for Team Edin, who now takes the lead 4-1 for Team Tardi, who now must pick up 3 points in this end in order to tie the game and go an extra end, if that's how this gameplay goes. And but is in last end of play here at the Penticton Nufloors Curling Classic. I'll do a quick round the sheets with a little update. We've had blank ends on the McEwen Robillard game. The score sits at 3-2 for Team McEwen. However, ends 5, 6, and 7 have all been blank ends. So McEwen doing their best to hold on to the hammer and really try and capitalize with multiple points. So we'll see what happens over there in this 8th end of play. We are on skip stones on that sheet, and I'll keep you updated as soon as that game has a final, unless you're checking it out on curling.com. On sheet D, I've got Flash versus Buke, and again, we've got an exciting game over here. Again, a low pointing game. It is 4-3 for Flash over Buick. And on sheet E, we have Team Howard still in the lead. Glenn Howard and his team from Ontario. We thank you so much for being here tonight, and all of your fans that are watching you from home from Ontario. We welcome you to our live stream events. Team Howard leads that game 5-2 in the 7th end of play, so they are a little bit behind
Pretty
us.
high, you can loop one around.
But we will keep you updated with any updates as they come in.
And with this Tardi Edin game that we're watching here, we saw Team Edin put their first rock in the house. And we've got Jordan Tardi responding to that.
Line's good. Were you one? Low line, low line, low line, low line.
Putting up a nice high guard.
Low line. It's good.
Är våran egen tickaren.
Nice spot. I mean, I guess we're going to try and see. We're going to see Tardi try and capitalize and try and create a multiple point end. So we'll see what happens here. Nicholas trying the tick here. We haven't seen too many tick shots in this event. I haven't seen very many tick shots, but that looks like that's what they're attempting to do. Obviously, now with this 5-rock free guard zone, it's too early in the end to take that rock out. So we'll see a little tick, and that's a nice soft weight. They can't take that rock out yet, but they can move it over.
They can give it a little
Now,
kiss and move it over.
If they take their own out, that's okay. It's less rocks for Team Tardi to hide around.
Less rocks for them to use in any way they so choose. So yeah, absolutely. That was a really lovely shot from Christopher Sundgren.
Är det värt att dra in den till i mitten? Täppa lite. Eller är det risk att det blir hjälpstenar? Kan ju bli hjälpstenar.
And you know, kind of a nice outcome anyways. You typically see that team with the hammer, they want to keep that center line open, so you tend to see that the first 2 rocks of play are guards off to the side. Right, so even though the first one went on the center line, it's still in a pretty good spot right now, even though Team Edin pushed it off to the side. So
Tyler will definitely be utilizing all of those guards that he can, and especially when you need 3 points, you need to hide behind as many guards as you can. So we'll see them drawing to the wings.
Absolutely, and try and take advantage of having that hammer. So having those guards in place right now is a really great idea and a great strategy. So we see Rasmus Brana coming out of the hat.
Bakhåll! Var med, kommer ner lite. Bak 8, bak 4. Bak 4, 10. Linjen är bra. Lite tight,
They're looking for a T-line here, or a bit of a split.
Bra spel.
And they're happy with that.
That was nicely done. So they've got 2 Edin stones in the top of the house, which is obviously something that Tyler is going to eventually have to deal with. But for now, he's just going to draw in behind one of his corner guards.
Well, it's a good time at the end to put those rocks in that top of the house position. See Jason Ginter coming out right at the broom.
Line's good.
It's got some room to curl.
Wait only.
Really starting to bend.
Communicating as well.
Let it curl.
Tyler's telling them how the rock looks. They're communicating about the weights.
Let it curl, yeah.
Definitely has to touch the house here and be well in. This weight looks pretty great. These guys got to get it in though.
Go.
It's got a touch and a disappointing touch short. Still, they can use that.
Yeah, they'll definitely
but
still use that, but that was unfortunate. It would have been nice to see it just a little later, but those are tough because it is curling away from the center, and you know, it does tend to get a little bit frosty, a little fudgy.
You know, I'm a great curler from up here.
I know, right?
And I thought the weight was good on that to touch the house. So I'm surprised at how much it really died at that last sort of from the hog line in. I expected it to be touching the house without any problems. So, you know.
Well, and when the weight comes off the rock, it does curl a lot more too. So it was unfortunate because it just kept curling away from the rings. So they were running out of room on that rock.
So Nicholas now in a position to start clearing off those guards. Again, we're well past that five rock 3 guard zone rule, and Tyler's trying to put a rock.
He's going to utilize his other guard, and he'll be drawing in behind on the other side of the rings.
Here in the 8th end of play on Saturday, October 16th, our 7:30 draw. We want to thank you once again for joining us. Again, our next draw is Sunday morning at 8:30 a.m. It's the semifinals. We will be featuring 2 games in the semis, of course, on sheet C and sheet D. And here we see Jason Ginter just diving in that weight, hitting the top 12. Really great shot there for Jason.
That's right. No mistake on this one. That one was definitely going to be in the rings, and it was. It was handled really well by the team. And that one looks to be nice and buried.
So as I mentioned, we have semifinals tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. And the finals are going to be tomorrow afternoon at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you can join us, please do encourage your friends and family to join by visiting pentictoncurlingclub.ca.
And we were just seeing Oscar Ericsson's first rock there. And he cleared off the Tardi guard. And
sure did it.
Almost got that other one.
It took that Tardi rock at the top of the 12th that isn't quite touching. Could have tapped it into the house, but it did miss. And so now we see Tyler Tardi trying to, his first attempt to deal with these blue Edin rocks that are in the top 8 and top 4 in the house.
That's
right along the center line.
And I think
Jay's always.
This looks like it's curling. He's tucking in. No, he's not dealing with them.
No, he's using his top 12. Well, not top 12. Sorry, it's just outside the rings, but he's using that as the guard.
He's going to run out of room here.
Unfortunately, Sterling Middleton had just a little bit too much weight for that.
Okay.
Again, she's handing that opportunity over to Nicholas Edin. Again, reigning world champion, 5 times at the World Champions.
That's right.
He's an amazing player with an amazing team. We're so happy to have them here in Penticton. And they're a tough team on the ice, nicest guys off the ice. So it is really a pleasure. They take that red rock out of play, and also one of their blue rocks. Again, they're not really interested in scoring a ton of points here. All they really have to focus on is keeping Tyler Tardi from getting 3 points to take the tie. So
that's right.
Gotta go
so
here, hope
just
his rip
working
goes
at that.
under here, then come around again.
So at this point, Tyler's now looking at a freeze. He's going to freeze to the back 8 Edin stone. See if he can make that any bit challenging for them to get rid of.
Well, that's in a nice spot for that freeze because that rock is behind the tee line.
That's right. These teams are so good at hitting, though.
Line's real
A
good.
freeze is a very, very tough shot because you have to make it absolutely perfectly. If it's offset in any way, then it's really quite easy for the team to take it out.
After
it's tough,
after
but
overthrowing
it's
that
doable.
that previous throw, of course he's going to try and dial it back in. We're in a new path on the ice, combined with wanting to take a little weight off. Unfortunately, a little miss there from Sterling Middleton. It ends up in a great guard position, but unfortunately a little late in the end to use that rock. So
and there's a lot of factors in maybe why that was a little bit light for Sterling's shot. You know, it could be that we're at that stage in the end, that the ice is changing just a little bit, because you have to remember that these players have been sliding down the path. You know, for 8 ends now. They've been sweeping really hard, and you're wearing down the pebble. So the ice could be changing a little bit, or, you know, it's 8th end. It could be a little bit of nerves, too. It's hard to say.
I see now also we have handshakes.
We have handshakes.
So also handshakes on sheet B. It looks like McEwen won that game. I would need confirmation on that to be sure, but it does look like Team McEwen won on sheet B. Congratulations to Team Nicholas Edin, who wins this game and moves on to the semifinals. Unfortunately, that means that Team Tardi is out and will be collecting their cash prize this evening. So congratulations to you guys on a game well played.
Very well played.
Thank you so much to our feature sponsors this evening, to Outdoor Living Canada, to Outdoor Living Today, to Greyback Construction, to Canadian Tire. Thank you so much for your support. We continue to see some games being played on Sheet D and Sheet E. Those will carry on. Unfortunately, this wraps up our part of the evening. Thank you so much, Michelle, for being here with me tonight. It was such a pleasure to have you.
This was a lot of fun, and thanks everybody for listening and tuning into curling.com.
Thank you.